Lots of rumors and reports are circulating right now for Roman Reigns, so we're going to get into everything there. We're also going to check out what's up with Alexa Bliss and more. Now, starting things off with everything related to Roman Reigns, because quite a lot's floating around him at the moment. Roman's just wrapping up a feud with Jacob that's been going on from the Raw after WrestleMania up until Clash in Italy. Jacob wanted to take everything from Roman, but after suffering back-to-back losses to Roman, Jacob has now been forced to fall in line and serve Roman Reigns in the Bloodline. That feud now appears to be over since Jacob has aligned himself with the Bloodline and is now an ally. If things are truly over, for now, for Roman versus Jacob, that feud ends at a little under 2 months, which is an absolute miracle since every other feud lately on television can go anywhere from 6 to 8 months. So it is refreshing to see a short feud again and not have it stretch out for half the year. That's a big plus right there. Like we discussed earlier in the week, though, a lot of fans are still discussing if this entire recent storyline here for Jacob is character assassination or not. Because Jacob was on fire as a single star in 2025 and early 2026. But now, he's a third henchman for Roman Reigns, basically reverting to the enforcer role that he was in when he first came to WWE in 2024. So that's something that a lot of fans are still concerned about there for Jacob's character, and if everything there has been destroyed due to him bending the knee to Roman. But it is still early there in that story, so we're going to have to see where exactly that all goes to next. But as far as things go with Roman and this current title reign, reports continue to hint at major things still coming down the line for Roman. You know, the big 2 matchups that WWE has teased on a few occasions since Roman won the title was Roman versus Oba and Roman versus Seth. And according to new reports and rumors, these 2 matches are allegedly scheduled to happen sometime during this current reign for Roman. And these recent reports also seem to indicate which one of the matches are going to be happening before the other. Immediately after WrestleMania 42, when it was looking like Brock Lesnar was actually retired, a lot of fans speculated that Oba versus Roman could take place at SummerSlam. But due to Brock returning from retirement, it no longer seems like there's any chance of seeing Roman versus Oba at SummerSlam. Seems like they're getting prepared to have Oba versus Brock round number 3 at SummerSlam. So Oba may be busy at SummerSlam with his final match against Brock Lesnar. So that prevents the match with Roman from happening at that event. Oba's going to have his hands full with putting away Brock once and for all at SummerSlam. So who will Roman face at SummerSlam? Well, a lot of people are looking at Seth Rollins to be Roman's SummerSlam opponent. Some reports are even indicating that it is possible that Seth Rollins could earn this SummerSlam match against Roman Reigns by winning the King of the Ring tournament. So that's something to look out for there as well. Seth could be a favorite to win the entire tournament, and then that's how he's going to find himself face-to-face with Roman Reigns at SummerSlam with the World Heavyweight title being on the line. Now, Roman and Seth did have a brief moment several weeks ago where they bumped into each other backstage, and after hearing these latest reports, it does look like that backstage run-in between Roman and Seth wasn't random at all. It looks like that backstage moment could have been foreshadowing this meeting that's apparently coming up at SummerSlam between Roman and Seth. Now, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins with a world title on the line, that's definitely worthy enough of headlining Night 2 of SummerSlam. And if that match takes place, it would be Roman and Seth's first one-on-one meeting since the 2022 Royal Rumble. And that match back then ended up in a messy fashion with a no contest result. So it's going to be nice to finally see that match again and hopefully see a clear winner as well. And the other big matchup that WWE has strangely started teasing in recent weeks is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Now, Roman versus Cody was originally the plans for Night 2 of WrestleMania 42, but a pivot was made, allegedly, because the company felt like the fans might have some fatigue from seeing Roman versus Cody in the main event of WrestleMania for 3 out of the last 4 years. So they pivoted, and they canceled that match for WrestleMania 42. But now, in recent weeks, they are just right back to teasing Roman versus Cody in big ways. WWE posted a clip of Roman and Cody bumping into each other backstage at Clash in Italy. They didn't say anything to each other, they just stared at each other and then went their separate ways. And then, on his way up the ramp after his Clash in Italy match against Jacob, Roman went on a whole rant about how the tribal chief was the only one that mattered. And he mentioned Cody's nickname of QB1, fully dismissed it and labeled Cody as being number 2 behind him. Cody then addressed those comments on the post-show, reminding everybody that Roman and himself are both tied up at 1 win apiece right now, and how he'll be down to face Roman again to break that tie. So for some reason, and out of nowhere, WWE is back to teasing another meeting between Roman and Cody. And fans think the timing of the teasing is what makes it weird, though, because where exactly does Roman and Cody have the time to face each other right now? They're both the world champions of opposite brands, with a lot being on their plates right now. Like we said earlier, Roman is on the horizon of facing Seth and Oba, and Cody is dealing with Gunther, and Randy Orton's still lurking in the shadows too. So where exactly does a Roman versus Cody match fit into the schedule there? Yeah, it is possible that they're potentially already setting up the Crown Jewel main event for October of 2026. The Crown Jewel event in recent years has always featured both world champions facing off against each other at that event for the Crown Jewel title. So if Roman and Cody hold on to their respective titles until Crown Jewel in October, that means we're going to see a Roman versus Cody match at Crown Jewel 2026 later this year. So is that the matchup that they're already hinting at? Because that right now appears to be the earliest date that Roman and Cody can face off against each other. The direction that fans hope they're not going is in another world title unification storyline. Seems like they're redoing everything with Roman and the Bloodline right now that we saw several years ago. So if they plan on keeping this Bloodline reboot going and continuing more things from the past, well, does that mean that Roman's going to eventually start to have a desire to hold both world titles again? Because that's how it started last time. Roman was holding the Universal title and was happy holding that title, but then over time, he had a desire to capture both world titles. And that's exactly what happened. And fans didn't really enjoy Roman having both world titles at the same time. That's why they eventually had to create the World Heavyweight title, because they just had no idea how to split up Roman's two titles. So with Roman taking direct shots at Cody Rhodes out of nowhere, is that a sign that Roman now wants his undisputed title back from Cody Rhodes as well? Setting up another world title unification match? That's probably everyone's biggest fear right now. Nobody wants to see a double world champion because it changes everything, and it limits possibilities if there's only going to be one world champion. So fans are really hoping that that's not the direction they're going in. But they have begun teasing Roman versus Cody, and so we're going to have to see why exactly they're teasing that matchup. Alexa Bliss caught a lot of fans' attention this week after she set up her official Twitter X page to being fully private and switching it off from being public. Now, a WWE superstar switching their social media pages to private, that's not something that you usually see, since superstars are trying to usually, grow their brand and have their posts go out to as many people as possible. But it looks like Alexa's decision to turn her page private for a bit, that seems to be stemming from dealing with toxic fans. Everybody knows that the IWC is hard to deal with the majority of the time, so it looks like Alexa reached her breaking point with them and she set everything to private there. But, yeah, she could open it up once again, once the community chills out. But anyway, what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.